folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and welcome to Week in Review. This is where we go back to the last week and we talk about the different games that we reviewed and give you kind of a quick rundown of what they are. And that way, if you think they're interesting, you can go back and check out the full review. Here we go.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Week in Review. This week I was able to do a review for Myth. Yes, I said that correctly. I've been told I said that correctly. It is like mice with a lisp. So Myth, and basically this is a game. It's a push your luck mechanism where you're trying to be the warrior knight mouse that defeats the dragon to reclaim the sacred cheese that's made out of gold for your village. So it's really cool. Check that review out. I was also able to do another smaller game called Three Wishes, and that's a almost like a bluffing game where you're trying to get 3 wishes, one of each kind. There's 3 different kinds of wishes there, and you're trying to get them all. And once you do, you can declare the end of the game if you are 4 turns into the game or more. And then you're trying to get the most points, score the most points at the end of the game. It's really fast, really fun, and I enjoyed it a lot. Go check that out. I was also able to do a top 5 list on my personal top 5 box art covers that are in my collection. And so that was a little glimpse into what I like and not like. So go ahead and check that out if you'd like. And I was also able to do 2 new HOTA reviews. One was for Legendary Encounters Fireflies, the newest installment in the Encounters system of Legendary. And I thought it did really good, although horrible artwork. Very bad. I can't really believe that Upper Deck signed off on this artwork. I really cannot believe it. However, unfortunately, that bad artwork is hiding actually a really fun game and a really good implementation, I think, of the Encounter system. So go check that one out. Then I was also finally able to do an expansion review for Old Saloon. It's the first expansion for Bang the Dice game. It comes with 5 modules that you can add to your game piecemeal or throw them all in together. It really doesn't matter. Really cool. Very high on my list as far as likability is concerned there. I already liked Bang the Dice game, and this just made it even more so. So then I was also able to do, Tom Z and I did another Miami Dice 200B for our second impressions of Seafall. We were able to get a couple more games in, and so we spent quite a bit amount of time discussing how we feel about Seafall at this point, having gone a little bit further into the game. So go check that out, Miami Dice 200B. And that's it. We'll see you on the flip side.
Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Last week I reviewed 4 games. Here we go. I reviewed We Come in Peace, which is a dice game, Yahtzee style, in which you are trying to defend your planet from alien invaders and attack the other players while you're at it as well. It's a pretty light game, very easy to learn as well though, but there just wasn't enough in it that I found it to be too captivating. It's a game in which technically you are only taking 3 turns. You only go 3 turns in the whole game, so just not enough there for me. I also reviewed Dicey Goblins, which is also a light dice game. This one is much more a push your luck game, and in it you are trying to steal the eggs of a dragon, and at the end of the game have the most eggs, and you decide if you keep pushing your luck or if you leave. You all decide simultaneously. It's cute, it's light, it works well, it's well done as well. That one I like a little bit better. I also reviewed London Dread, which I have right here. London Dread is a sort of a cooperative mystery game in which you are trying to keep some evil event from happening. Game's pretty thematic. It even has an app that you can use to help you tell the story. And it's got a great amount of planning in it. Good amount of theme meets mechanisms that are really solid. I liked it a lot. That's London Dread. I did that review with Sam Healy, by the way. Go check that out. And then lastly, I reviewed this one right here, Kingdomino. And that one is a brilliant little tile laying game in which you're building up your little kingdom and then scoring based on how well you did that. It's got sort of tile drafting in it. It's 15 minutes, but for that involvement of time, you get a lot of tactics, and I really liked it. That's Kingdomino. And that's it for me. I will see you next time.
Okay, for me, well, there was some games that were not so hot this week. The first is Tippet, which came out in the 60s. I played a new version of it, which not only had some bad component choices, two discs that almost look the same, but just really doesn't stack up against, doesn't stack up against other games, dexterity style games where you pull things out and make things fall over. Gas Out, hilarious gas sounds, not a game, unfortunately. So, yay, I have a toy now that makes fart noises. Boulder Burst, this based on a Lion King franchise, is a game about stacking blocks and dropping balls to make the blocks burst out. Sounds cool, looks cool. Unfortunately, the components just really keep it from playing well at all. Tiffin, this is a cool game based, or a cool theme based in Mumbai where you're delivering little lunches called Tiffins, and it's an area control game. You think it'd be up my alley, but the gameplay is mediocre or not even that good at best, and the graphic design is just awful. It just translates to be a very unfun experience. I gave DC Deck Builder another try. We played the Teen Titans, and me and Melody reviewed this in our new series, Double Trouble, and both of us were not fans of it. I disliked the artwork, but I also disliked just the game itself. I don't think the theme fits, and the game itself feels boring to me. Crazy Cereal is a game for little kids. It has light-up spoons where you're going to go in and get the cereal and eat it. Hey, a cereal game? Seems like it's right up my alley. It's mostly for little kids about recognizing color. The Great Dinosaur Rush. I like much of this game. There's a few parts of it like collecting the bones I wasn't a big fan of, but I like the idea of building a dinosaur out of sticks and getting points for maybe having the tallest dinosaur, the longest dinosaur, or even building a dinosaur in a specific way. A cool and unique theme. Speaking of unique themes, Tavarua is only the second surfing game I've ever played, but this one here is done by Cody Miller, who did Zaya. Amazing production. The gameplay is about going out, trying to catch the right waves to come in. Not a huge fan of the scoring system, but the game does work well. Roll It, which feels like, as I said in my review, an old-timey version of Crossfire, but it actually is better. It's a big wooden game, fairly expensive, where you're rolling balls down, trying to knock another ball into the other person's goal. It's teams of 2-on-2. Skill really plays a part here. A lot of fun, fast ball rolling action. Vast is a game which is one of the most asymmetrical games I've ever seen, where one person plays a knight, another a thief, another a dragon, another goblins, and the last player plays a cave. And you all have completely different goals. Very unique. This one went into my collection. Mansions of Madness, 2nd edition. Wow, do I love this game. Very impressed with it. It built upon the first Mansions of Madness. It was very similar to it. I would say it's 75% similar in how the game works itself. The big change being they added an app to it, and in this game, the app made the game so much better. It adds music, it adds theming, it adds randomness, it lets you play cooperatively, or in my case, I've even played this game solo. I very rarely do that, but this one has caught me in. Beautiful components, a lot of fun. The new Smash Up expansion, Cease and Desist, which has 4 factions. I forget their names because they're based on Star Wars, Star Trek, Game of Thrones, and Transformers. This is easily in my top 2 expansions for Smash Up to this point. I especially like the Game of Thrones one where you can give control of your minions to someone else and then take them right back. And then I did a re-review of Swords of Lost Cities, which came out 17 years ago. But they have a new version from Cosmos, and there's a little promo 6th Expedition expansion. So I took a look at those, and of course, still love this 2-player game to this day. We also took a second look at Seafall, where our opinions have kind of deviated to some degree, but we're still going to have to wait until we play the game more to give final opinions on that. I also talked about my favorite games from 2006 and 2007. We did a talk back on Vassal's Law, and there's a couple Gen Con videos that we posted last week too. So check all that out. Thanks so much for watching Week in Review. I'm your host, Tom Vasel, and this is The Dice Tower.